Lee Cole here, and Jeanne is on with me. Say hello to everybody, Jeanne.
Hey everybody, this is Jeanne over here in cold Myrtle Beach today.
I mean, what the heck happened? Look,
I
I
don't know.
hate winter.
It went
I,
down in the 30s at night last night. It's in the 30s.
I literally loathe winter. From the only thing I like about
Nice.
winter is Christmas and my wife's birthday.
And and Thanksgiving. I like Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but once that's over with, I am literally just grumpy, just waiting for spring. And here I
I know.
was, I had my shorts out and everything. And for those of you that don't know much about me, I live in the southern part of the United States also. Probably tell that by my accent. but I had my shorts out and we were good to go. And then like yesterday, I'm like, crap, what happened?
I
Who
know. I went to take the dogs out last night. I said, "Oh my gosh, I got to go back in and get a coat."
really? I thought I'd put that stuff up until next October.
I know
So
it.
guys, here we are just sitting here talking. We have no idea if you can hear us or see us. So could somebody give us a little yes, we can hear you. Yes, we can see you. So just give us a little feedback here and make sure we're not just talking to ourselves, which is fine. I can talk to myself. Lisa,
Okay.
how are you?
Lisa,
Thank you so much.
this is her first time to attend a webinar.
Douglas, Al. Well, hello, Al. How are you? And Mark, uh, Mark says, I mean, Jeanne, if you want to get distracted during a webinar and also giggle, then make sure you read Mark's comments. He is
I
literally one of the
will.
funniest people I know. Thorsten from
Well, good.
Germany.
Yeah.
How are you, Thorsten?
Germany.
What part
Whoa.
of what? Hang on a minute. My daughter called me. So, what part of Germany are you
Hey,
from, Thorsten? I,
yeah,
I have
tell
been,
us.
I have been to Munich, which I loved, and then I rode the train from there
Okay.
down to Italy through the Alps, which was really
Yeah.
cool. Hamburg. No, I have not
Uh,
been. That's way up at the top. Have not been there.
well,
But Thorsten, I
my maiden
saw.
name,
Uh-huh.
my maiden name is Beamer, Beemer, and that's German. And they're
Ah,
from somewhere in the Rhine River Valley. I've got genealogy books, but I've never been there either.
well,
Okay.
that's very interesting because there's my mother's side of the family originally came from Germany, a part of Germany which is now France, Alsace, but all of those people came from there. Germany is
Washington,
a
D.C.
wonderful country.
Hey, hey, Washington, D.C. That's cool. I lived in Oxon Hill and Rockville and Hagerstown when I was growing up. So I'm a Maryland, D.C. girl, sort of. I wouldn't want to be there now, but
Yeah.
Strasbourg. Yeah,
Strasbourg,
yeah.
yes, that particular area. As a matter of fact, years and years, we're just kind of quote unquote chewing the fat while because we had a ton of people getting on this thing, which is really
Yeah,
cool. We're just giving people
kibutzen is kibitzing is what he said. Yeah,
kibitzing.
you're
Yes, yes,
kibitzing.
we're just kind
Yeah.
of giving everybody a couple of minutes to get on. But what was I going to say? Yes, Strasbourg, that part of the world. I met a guy. I mean, this was like back in the 80s. I just stumbled. It was the weirdest thing. I just stumbled across him, literally stumbled across him. My mother's maiden name was a very unique name. And if you have that name, then you come from a small part of Western North Carolina around, uh, around Charlotte and nowhere else, right? And so I just noticed this guy had my mother's maiden name, and I said,
What is it?
"Are you
What is
from?"
it?
It's yeah, Cloninger. And I said, "Are you from?" I said, "Your family from Gastonia, which is right outside of Charlotte."
Oh my
And
God.
he said, "Yeah, yeah. As a matter of fact, I am." I said, "Well, you and I are undoubtedly related," and so we stood there and figured that out, right? But it turns out he was a amateur genealogist of the Cloninger
Wow.
family. which is cool, except that he died a few years after I met him. But he was telling me about where my mother's family came from. And Thorsten, you're right around Strasbourg. And they came over to the United States. The original ancestor came over to the United States like in the very early 1700s. And they
And you
all
know what?
settled in that one
Look at
place.
this. Look at this.
Huh,
There's somebody from Scotland on here,
I saw
and
that.
there's yeah, Frank thinks that I grew up in Johnson City, Tennessee. Nope, Frank, I was born there, but we moved shortly after. But I rode my motorcycle back over there with Leon, and we went to the
Ooh, I like
Appalachian
Johnson City, the
Trail.
the, the little Tri-Cities area.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That is very, very nice. And speaking of Scottish, that's the other side of my family. As a matter of fact, uh, the family, the clan, it's called, which is a extended family for those of you that don't know, but was the Mackenzies. And as a matter of fact, my son's middle name is Mackenzie. Mel, how are you doing? Thank you
She's
so
doing great
much.
because I got her all fixed up with our
Oh,
stuff.
wonderful, wonderful. Well, this is what we want to do, Jeanne, because I am you've been doing this social posting business for a little over 2 years. You're doing fabulous with it. You
Yep.
have sort of given me the privilege of looking over the shoulder as you built this business from zero to a really, really nice business.
Mm-hmm.
It's once you set up a client, it's literally totally autopilot. I mean, which is amazing. People say autopilot, people say passive income, and that's usually just a load of horse, you know what, because you have to tend to it. But you've actually got this figured out to where you don't even have to tend to anything. You don't even have to worry about anything once the client is set up. And folks, I'm not talking about set up for a year or set up for a month. I'm talking about set up one time for freaking ever. Jeanne, you've never lost a client, right?
Nope.
And so to my mind, this is like this is the thing we're all looking for, right? I mean, this is the whole deal about not only local business marketing or social media marketing, but it's kind of the whole deal about internet marketing in general. We're looking for an income stream that we can set up, that we can build, and that will last for a very, very long time. And you've got it. And
Yep.
I'm a huge proponent of it. That's why I was so excited about this launch.
Andy, come over here. You hear my dog's chain rattling? He's scratching his ears. I'm gonna take that off of him. Hang on
And
a second.
yeah,
And here, give me your chain.
Jean's dog is
Oh,
misbehaving. My two idiot dogs never misbehave.
yeah, right.
Well, that's true. BMW makes hogs too.
Well, he was talking about that picture of me on the.
Joking.
He was talking about that picture of me on the bike, and you said Gene's
Yes.
toys. Actually, that was Sid Michael's bike, and I was in his garage that day. I rode a BMW, but Sid had just got that hog. So,
Oh, okay.
um, yeah, that wasn't mine. That was Sid's. But we used to have fun together, riding
So
around.
let's just kind of for those. So we're going to do basically two things on here. Okay, this is going to be about a 30-minute webinar. We're going to, unless you have a ton of questions, and we will sit here as long as you got questions. But basically, what we want to do is just go over what is the social posting business. Just from like an airplane view. And we also, you notice I've got the sales letter up here. And I'm not going to sit here and read you the sales letter. You can obviously do that yourself. Let me go ahead and put it in the chat while I'm thinking about it, in case you want to look at it, in case you haven't bought this yet. But I do want to go over with you about the upsells, because I think the upsells are excellent. And, basically, we're just here in case you have questions. We want to talk about it. This is informal. We want to just give you a chance a forum to ask questions through. And yeah, that's basically what we're looking at here. So Jeanne, you know, micro businesses, you want to tell us about that and what that is and that whole idea?
Yeah. In fact, I was thinking about this so much last night that I had a hard time sleeping because I was reading in one of my other Skype groups where, I mean, these are my friends. I call them my gear monkey friends. And I won't tell you which Skype group that is, but they're all into SEO and all the stuff, you know, and the rankings. And now if you link to Blogger, it brings your rankings down. And this went on and on and on. And I thought, oh God, I'm glad I'm not in that anymore. But I used to be in that. That's why I'm still in that Gear Monkey group. And I just thought, oh, I finally figured out what I'm gonna be when I grow up. And I want to be somebody who sets things on autopilot and lets it run, and I'll take 100 small sales over a $2,000 a month client any day of the week. So I started that 2 years ago. And listen, I'm seeing your questions on here, and when Lee says I can dive in to answer them, I will.
Yeah, we got you covered.
Like
We,
Teresa's.
Teresa, Al, we definitely got you covered. Al, just so you
Okay.
know, guys, when you buy this, you also get registered for a webinar, and some of the training for this product is delivered through that webinar. And Al, specifically the training on how to sell this. Teresa will talk about, and Teresa's got the same question. We'll talk about that a little bit, but in-depth training on how to sell this, that happens on the webinar, okay? And
Yeah, and
yes,
Al
the
had the
webinar is
same,
the 5th.
he had the same question. Um, I'll give you a slight overview of that. I'll give you a taste, okay? And so the deal is, I don't care what niche you're talking about. I don't care if you're talking about a plumber or a lawyer. They're just people, and I'm just a people. And somebody said in my group, well, I don't have anything in common with personal injury attorneys. Yes, you do. You're breathing, you're living in probably the same country. You want the same things that they do. They just go about it getting it differently. We're all just people. And there's no push button magic thing where you can, just feel like, oh, I've got the perfect thing here. I can just push a button and sell to everybody. No, you have to be real. You have to understand that they want the same things you do. They want their business to run. They want help when they can get it, and they love it when it doesn't cost much. So if you start to think about people as just people, it just works. I don't care if it was, I don't care if it's a congressman or senator. I mean, I've sold those guys too because they own businesses. I've done their political marketing campaigns for them. We're all just people, and you've got a whole bunch of people in the world who need you. And if they just knew that you could do what you say you're going to do, they'd say, okay, yeah, that sounds like a good plan. I mean, this is going to cost you less than a Happy Meal a day, folks. This is easy. So don't overcomplicate this. Don't make it bigger in your mind than it needs to be. They need you. These people need you. And you have what they need, a small part of what they need. You don't have the whole world, but you got a little part of what they need. And you can set it up and forget it. So there we go. How's that for a little opener speech, Lee?
I think that's great. I think you touched on a lot of things that are extremely important. Um, I have personally, literally been selling stuff. I'm in my 60s, okay? I've I've been selling stuff since I was 12 years old. That's not a joke, and I'm not exaggerating. I have literally been selling stuff that long. So what does that make me? Good God Almighty, 51 years, Jesus. But anyway,
I got you, Lee. I'm older than you.
I know you have. I know you have. But um, I think that if you got a background in selling stuff, then this stuff's pretty easy. The problem is if you don't have a background in selling stuff, thank you, Rick. The problem is I
Oh
can't read
yeah,
what
yeah.
Rick said.
Yeah.
If you don't have a background in selling stuff, I mean, sales looks like, I mean, sales to non-salespeople looks so incredibly intimidating. I mean, it would be like if somebody invited you to be on the Bulgarian powerlifting team or something, you know? I mean, it's like, seriously, I couldn't even pick up the little weights, much less the huge ones, right? And and I think a lot of people get really nervous about selling. Well, I don't think, I absolutely know a lot of people get really nervous about selling, and a lot of people want, to figure out the magic bullet, you know, the one thing that's just going to make all the anxiety go away and all that stuff. And, and look, I've read probably every, I literally have books on selling printed in the late 1800s, which I have read. Okay. Uh, but the fact of the matter is what Jeanne said, you're selling this to people who want it. Okay. Well, okay. So that presupposes that you're talking to someone who wanted it. And so I know what y'all are doing. I know exactly what's going on in your head. Going on in your head are all these little hamster wheels turning, trying to figure out the way to make sure that you are talking to someone who wants it. And I got news for you, sad news. You can't know that. You cannot know that. That's impossible to know. There is no like approach. There's no, I mean, yeah, Jeanne looks at people's, Facebook pages and seeing if they're posting stuff, because if they're posting stuff every day, she probably doesn't need to talk to them. Those are few. Those are very few, by the way. But,
Mm.
beyond that, I mean, there's no real approach. I mean, it is literally as easy as just reaching out to the person or the business. I mean, it could either be a single attorney or it could be an entire firm of attorneys. Okay. And a lot of times, especially in personal injury law, the single attorneys aren't employees. They are very much like independent contractors. Matter of fact, they probably are independent contractors. They are responsible for doing, they're like real estate agents. They're responsible for doing their own marketing. But it's as easy as just reaching out and saying, this is what I do. Do you want this? You don't need to overcomplicate it. And you can reach out, folks. And we're going to go over a lot of details on the webinar Monday, which is Monday, the webinar that comes with us. But it is as easy as you can reach out with cold email. You can reach out with direct mail. There's a direct mail letter in the members area for this. Okay, you can reach out with direct mail. And on that, the direct mail letter was written by me. And it has a lot of tricks that I've used for years with direct mail letters. This is snail mail. Okay, this goes actually physical. You can reach out, God forbid, just by calling them up. And I'm really don't know why more people don't do that, frankly, except they're scared. Or you could do what Jeanne does. You can just like stumble into people. I mean, literally, if you keep your eyes open, I know this sounds stupid, but if you keep your eyes open, you can find clients for stuff just like, when your uncle fell down and broke his leg on the, in the gas station parking lot and sued the gas station company. I mean, you can run into personal injury attorneys that way. What you need
And
to do. No, Teresa, did you say the word that actually makes my blood pressure skyrocket, which is gatekeepers? Teresa said the word. Jeanne, Teresa said the word.
yeah, a
I
back
mean,
gatekeeper, to me, that's the person at the airport at the guard gate.
Teresa, God bless you. You're saying the word, and I'm just kind of teasing. I'm just, no, you're not cut off. I'm teasing you. But yeah, I mean, it's hilarious. It's so hilarious. I was in San Antonio about a couple of 3 years ago, giving a speech type thing, talk, whatever you want to call it, to a group, and my son was with me, and some guy raised his hand and said, well, how do you get past the gatekeeper? And Teresa, I know you don't talk like that, but how do you get past the gatekeeper? My son, I saw my son out in the audience look at me like, oh God, he had to have said the gatekeeper. This is going to get dad just like so riled up. He just won't shut up for 20 minutes. Hold the gatekeeper thought. I'm gonna tell you about that person. But really, guys, see, my deal is this, and I do a lot of coaching for teaching people how to sell stuff, this kind of stuff. Okay. Here's the deal. You can spend a lot of time and stress and anxiety trying to be the perfect A+ salesperson, you know, kind of like somebody who would be selling multi-million-dollar computers for IBM. Or you can do the following. You can be just a normal B grade salesperson. You know, you call them up, your follow-up's pretty good, you know, if they don't buy, that's fine. You can do that. And you can win over the excellent salesperson, Teresa and everybody else. I'm going to tell you how, through two things. One, through larger numbers and through consistency. I guarantee you guys, I guarantee you, please hear this. I wish somebody would hear this. Consistency will beat everything else. Literally. Consistency will beat everything else. Now let's talk about Teresa's gatekeeper. Yes, Teresa, it is a number. It's literally a numbers game. You can be, okay, guys, I'm going to use some French in a moment, which is my code word for Lee's going to say a word he shouldn't say. I'm just fired up. Teresa said gatekeeper. This fires me up. And you can be a half-assed salesperson, and you can beat all of the others if you are amazingly consistent. So if you want to send out 100 cold emails every day from now until, you know, the end of time, you can beat everybody else. If you want to send out 10 direct mail letters every day, or let's say 50 per week, then you can beat everybody else as long as you do that from now until the end of time. If you want to get on the phone and just call 10 attorneys every day from now until the end of time, Monday through Friday, I guarantee you, you will beat everybody else. It is, there's a bunch of things going on. Number one, it is a numbers game, but number two, the more, that's called prospecting, right? The more prospecting you do, the luckier you're going to get. I guarantee you, it just works that way. And back to the gatekeeper, Teresa, that's nothing more than a human being. They're not sitting there armed to, they're not going to let loose a surface to air missile because you called the company. I mean, let's assume that the person answering the telephone actually is a moderately intelligent human being, which, I mean, look, literally, I mean, think about it. The person answering the phone at a personal injury attorney office is fielding calls which can make their boss 50, 100, $250,000. You know, God bless people who sweep floors at McDonald's, but these ain't the people sweeping floors at McDonald's. I mean, let's assume a certain level of expertise, or at least goodwill on these people's parts. Okay, they're there to help the business. That's their job. Teresa, another thing which will just deal with the gatekeeper thing is if you will have a multi-tiered reach out campaign. So I personally like to do things like, and this is all in there's a little report that I just put in there yesterday because I thought people needed it, all about, is about selling and following up. So let's say you've got 10 target attorneys or 10 target law firm, all right? If you will cold call them, 3 days later, if you will email them, 3 days later, if you will pop something in the mail to them, or pop something in the mail to them the day you emailed them so they get it 3 days later. And 3 days after that, if you will cold call them again, if you will go through that, your numbers are gonna, I mean, your conversion rate's gonna skyrocket. All right, your conversion rate's gonna skyrocket. We'll talk about this more on the webinar. And But if you have any questions in the interim, I'm not opposed to, Jeanne, I'm so interested in people doing well with this. I'm not opposed to just having yet another webinar. You don't have to do it because I love talking about, I'm not trying to, you know, tie you into this, tie you down, because I know you're like massively busy. But
Yeah, but I
if you,
love talk. One huge benefit of what I've gone through recently with the betrayal of a trusted friend and a partner
yeah,
is that in trying to fix some of this, I've been calling my customers personally and I've gotten to know them.
yeah.
And I realized the other day, I told my daughter and Lisa when they came over, I said, I am so energized when I'm talking to people. I am so energized by it. And I was feeling all dragged out the other day. And I mean, I was so tired and my eyes burned. And I thought, oh, how long can I keep doing this? You know, and then I got on the phone. I talked to a customer in New Zealand on Facebook app. I talked to somebody else in another state. By the end of those calls, I couldn't even sleep. I was so excited. It just totally gave me energy. And so don't worry about asking me to get on a webinar. I love this.
Well, maybe we need to do that because, you know, um, I, you know me, Jeanne, because we talk about this. It frustrates the daylights out of me for people to not be able to make money the way you and I can make money because they're have this obstacle in their lives called I don't know how to sell, and I've decided to create all of these really scary but actually non-existent monsters between me and success. We might have to. I'm not promising, guys. I got to look at my calendar. But Teresa and everybody else, we might have to have a little webinar just on how to sell. We might have to have that. Jeanne and I are here. Our goal is for you to have success. Yes, we make money and all that stuff, but our goal is for you to have success. Um,
Lee,
yeah.
somebody asked way up in the comments. I don't want to
Oh,
let that go.
go for it. We've only had like 40 million comments since we
I
just
know.
started talking.
He wants to know if you'll show him the OTOs.
Yeah. Let's do that. Um, yeah, absolutely. Can I do one quick thing before we do that?
Yeah, sure.
Teresa, I'm just using you as a human being to talk to. I'm actually talking to everybody. I'm not, you know, I appreciate your candor and you're asking the question. It shows that you really want to get this stuff to work. And frankly, Jeanne and I really want to help you. Teresa, let me ask you a question. Or Jeanne, what is your average revenue per month? In other words, how much do you charge a personal injury attorney per month for the service on average? Just average, ballpark it for me.
149 bucks a month.
150 bucks a month. Okay,
Yeah.
so if you had 100 clients, that would mean that you would be making, oh God, Lee's got to do simple math. I used to teach math too.
All right, let me go to my
That
calculator.
$15,000 a month. Am I correct? Did I multiply 100 times 150 right? Okay, so that's a 15 followed by 3 zeros. Yes,
It is.
$15,000 a month. So $15,000 a month for 12 months is $180,000 a month. And
Yeah.
guys, your expenses for this business, yes, there are some expenses, but your actual cash out of pocket expenses for this particular business are really minuscule. So let's say you end up pocketing, I don't know what, Jeanne, how much would it
90,
cost you to run
90% of
90%?
it. You can,
Okay, so 90% is 90 plus 72. So let's just $160,000, $160,000. So Teresa, when you get to 100 customer clients, you will have a $160,000 per year cash. Okay, that's your profit coming into you, and as you just said, on autopilot. Now, Teresa, what would you do? Now, let's say that you really believed that that would happen, and I can tell you that that'll happen if you'll get on the stick. What would you do to make that happen? I mean, you got to think about that. I mean, how far are you willing to go to make that happen? Are you willing to get out of your comfort zone? Jeanne, on average, a B grade, so one of these guys, and we may have some master salespeople in here, I don't know, but a B grade salesperson, in other words, they're competent, they're trying, they, don't, they don't have just an awful personality or something like that. The
Hmm.
B grade salesperson, how many people do you think you would actually have to interact with? Not just send a cold email to. That's not interaction. How many people do you think you would have to actually interact with somehow, like phone call, Zoom meeting, something like that? Okay. If you were a competent but not great salesperson, how many people do you think you would have to interact with in order to land one new client?
I can't answer that because my close rate is about 80%.
Yeah, I know. You are also a unicorn. Okay.
I know.
Guys, yeah, I know. I mean, I'm just being real. I'm just being real. Guys, the answer is going to be, even if you kind of suck at selling, okay? If you interacted with 10 people, you're going to land a client, okay? If you interacted with 10 people, you're going to land a client. In other words, if you interact with 10 people, you really can't screw this up. You'll get another client. So, Teresa, here's the deal. Would you face your fears? 1,000 times, just 1,000 times. I know that seems like a big number, but would you face your fears 1,000 times in order to get $160,000 a year income that would be on autopilot for probably several years? Because Jeanne has gone 2 years, a little over 2 years. Jeanne's gone 2 years, a little over 2 years, and has never lost a client. So what about it, Teresa? I mean, think about it like that. Think about it in numbers. It's like, oh God, I have to do the thing that I hate only 1,000 times in order to have a phenomenal income for at least the next few years. And Teresa, you wouldn't even have to work after that. I'm not talking about forever. That's stupid. But okay, Teresa loves talking with people. Okay, Teresa, so you're good. I mean, if you love talking with people, we could probably cut this down to 5 per sale. All right. As opposed to if you were like a sort of a pathological introvert like me. But if we cut it down to 5%, all you got to do, Teresa, is you got to get 500 people interacting with you with the idea of selling them this in order to have a phenomenal income for 3, 4, 5 years. Don't even have to touch it. Okay. Well, think about that, Teresa. That should inspire the heck out of you guys, because look, once you build your income to where it needs to be, then these people just pay. Now let's say that after 3 or 4 years, some of them drop out, they die. I mean, they got to die at some point. So they die, they go out of business, they change businesses, they sell the business, whatever. Okay, so this means that in order to maintain your income, all you got to do is just sell a few people extra per year. That's all you got to do. This is huge, guys. This is huge. So, Teresa, I want you to think about that, because that should motivate you. This is, I mean, I put the link to the front end product, what we call the front end product here. The OTOs are here, okay? And what we're looking at is, I think I got a list down here somewhere. Okay. Jeanne, you want to tell us what's in this first OTO?
Yeah, I was busy answering questions. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, let's do this. I like to be totally upfront with people. We're not trying to make you jump through hoops to figure out stuff, or trying to, play any kind of stupid game with you. I'm just going to put the links to the OTOs in here. Okay.
Okay. Is that OTO 1 or 2 you're looking at? 2. Okay.
Well, let's start with one. Let's start with one right here.
Lee and I don't like tons of OTOs. So, but it's the game that Warrior Plus makes you play,
Yeah.
So, If it were up to me, I'd put everything on a little bulletin board, say, here, take your pick, but that's
Yeah.
not the way it works. So the OTO one is, what is it? Scroll up, Leah. Lee, let me see. Refresh my memory. Didn't we make that the videos?
Yeah, that's the videos. Let me see if I
Yeah.
let me see if I got a list here. It's hard for me to see, guys, because when you do a webinar, you have all these stupid little boxes in front of you
Okay, and
that
let me,
make it.
while you're doing that, Lee,
Here you go.
let me
90.
say,
Uh-huh.
these videos are little short MP4 videos. They are not animations of the graphics, which is different. A lot of people will animate their graphics in PowerPoint and they call that a video. It's not. These are actual unique videos that are made with by my team, and there's a few little examples down there, and
Yeah,
they're
you can
short,
click on these.
anywhere
Yeah.
from three to 10 seconds long. But video has been proven to really draw attention on social media. So that's when I started adding in the real videos, not just the PowerPoint animations that a lot of people. Well, I sold them the first two things I did back in 2019. But anyway, my team makes these, and I am such a stickler for excellence that if you ever find a typo in one of them or even a period missing somewhere, you tell me and I'll fix it, because I
Oh,
try to
absolutely.
make sure everything's really done well. And so
So,
those
yeah.
are 90 MP4 videos, and I rotate them in and out of static graphics. Now, if you went and had these made by a designer, you're gonna pay sometimes maybe, I don't know, between $2 and $5 a piece, depending on where you get them. And we're giving them to you for 26 cents a piece. Yep.
So you get 90 MP4 videos and 90 Instagram stories.
Yes. And those are formatted for Instagram. And now
Right, because the format's different. Yeah.
my posting software that you can have this done on autopilot with, we're now posting to Instagram without a hitch. We cracked the code just this week on Instagram. It was a bugaboo, and Lisa figured it out. God bless Lisa. She
Cool.
figured it out. And now you can have the Instagram stories as well as other things you can post on Instagram. So Instagram now is rocking and rolling. And so we got Facebook and Twitter and Pinterest and GMB and LinkedIn. Yep, we can do all that. And so videos just add interest. They're cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's they're cool, and frankly, you can charge more money.
Yes,
If you
you
add
can.
videos into your mix. Al, you had left me that question and a support ticket. I answered and told you to you need to give me some more information about that. Okay, take a screenshot of what you're seeing or something like that, so that I can see what you're seeing. Yeah, so that's OTO number one. As you can see, it is the price is amazing. You get 180 videos. As Jeanne said, it would cost you anywhere from so what's that, $500 or so to 5 times 180. I mean, so it's going to cost you, anywhere from 500 to $1,000 yourself to have these made individually. You can buy them for $47 today. Or, I mean, whenever you buy this. And so that's what OTO 1 is about. It's more stuff, okay? And OTO 2 is what we call our mega pack. You can get 120 more images and comments, okay? That'll give you a total of 180, which is cool because that is a half a year's worth if you're posting once a day. And guys, you may be wondering, okay, so what do I do on day 181? You just start posting the same thing all over again. You cycle back to the front and post the same stuff all over again. Nobody, I mean, that's fine. Okay, nobody's ever going to even care. Your goal in posting this stuff is to create activity on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, etc. By creating activity, the algorithms for all these platforms are going to rank your client's business page higher. Okay, that's what's going to happen. Google My Business too. This has a huge effect on Google My Business rankings. So you get to the end of, basically you get to the end of 180 days, you just start all over. These come with 120 curated articles, which, by the way, yours truly forgot to put in there. Give me like, I was trying to dig them out and put them in there right before the webinar. I didn't quite make it. So give me an hour after the webinar stops, and these will be in there. You get a year's worth of professionally written newsletters. Jeanne, you want to tell us about the newsletter?
Sure. Before that, I want to address one more question that is popping up here. How do you keep on the pages fresh when you post every day? Well, the bottom line is we're giving you enough in here for, let's see, 180 and 90. What is that? 90. Oh, slippery fingers here. Hold on.
What are we trying to figure out?
Okay, so there's 270 assets, if you will. Okay. And if you divide that by 2, you get 135. You divide that by 30. Okay, so you've got enough for 4.5 to 6 to 8 months of stuff here. At the end of that, I just set my posting software up to say shuffle and recycle. Nobody remembers what was posted on their own page a month ago, much less 3 months ago. I've been recycling these for 2.5 years. Nobody has ever said, oh, why did you use that again? I saw that 6 months ago. That just does not happen.
No, that doesn't happen.
No, doesn't happen. So now let's talk about newsletters. You wanted to hear about that for a minute. These are professionally written. They are unique. Nobody else has them but my customers. I didn't go copy them from some other website somewhere. They are researched and written, and I found that it's just another way to keep somebody's clients engaged. Like, for instance, the first set of newsletters I did was for my chiropractor. He was my very first posting customer. And I take the newsletters and I format them with his logo at the top and his information, his contact information at the bottom, and they're nicely done by well, my husband did it for me. He's a designer, but I mean, you can get it done on Fiverr if you want to, if you don't know how to set this up for $5. But anyway, he puts them in his office in a tray, and people just pick them up as they leave. And then he says, oh, take some and give them away, and where it makes sense, they're seasonal. Maybe you want to talk about, like if it's for a cleaning company, maybe you want to talk about getting ready for Christmas, and how to clean up after the Christmas mess or something. But they can be seasonal. They don't have to be. And they're really good for somebody who has an office where there's a lot of foot traffic, like an attorney, a doctor. Now, for businesses where they go out, like my roofers, what I've trained them to do is to collect email addresses and email people. And there is MailChimp training. MailChimp is one of the cheapest, easiest autoresponders that you could possibly get, and it's free up to a certain point. But I've included my friend Charles Harper's MailChimp training, and there's a lot of videos in there. He told me I could give it to you. And So for my roofers, for instance, I just have them collect emails, and then we set up the newsletters on an email basis. Now you could do both, but it's just another way to keep people's clients engaged. I have landscapers, and those are very seasonal. Those newsletters are very seasonal. Now, if you live in a part of the country where maybe things are a little different than what the newsletter says, go in there and change it. I mean, it's not written in stone, they're written in a Word doc. You know, you can change it. It's just another way of helping your client be professional and keeping their past customers engaged. You know, when I get, well, my own landscaper here at my house, I've got him on my service, and I got one of his newsletters, and it said, "Hey, you know, it's time to get that spring planting going, and here's some great suggestions, and let us come out and, you know, give you a quote for this year." So you get the picture. I don't want to beat that thing to death, but newsletters are just a great way to keep somebody's clients engaged. And you
Hang on a
get
minute.
12 of them with personal injury attorney.
Yeah, so it's basically monthly, right?
Yep, I do one a month.
Now,
And
a ton of
again, if it
questions.
doesn't, I mean, the guy from New Zealand said, well, it may not fit exactly, and I'll just change it. You know, they're going to call it solicitor, or they're going to call it. I had a plumber one time in Europe and said, well, we don't call things a faucet. We call it a spigot. Okay, change it.
A spanner.
Whatever.
Yeah, I know. I know. So
Yeah.
yeah, a few other questions. Curated content, basically curated content is linked to an article plus a blurb. All right. So that would be and the 120 curated content articles, which will be in there within about an hour of closing off the webinar. That's in this OTO2. That's basically something else for you to post for your client. So, you know, there may be an article from the American Bar Association. When should you file a personal injury claim? And then a link to the article. That's just more stuff to post. And it mixes up what's in their Facebook, their Twitter, you know, what's in the feed, their LinkedIn feed, et cetera, et cetera. So that's just more stuff. I had also somebody said, how do you edit this stuff? And I think you're talking about the PSD files. The PSD files are the editable files for the graphics, and you can edit those in, oh, what is that called? You know, well, you can edit it in a free editor called GIMP,
Yeah,
GIMP,
free.
which is
Also,
free.
somebody in my Facebook group gave me another one today that he's been using that's a free alternative to Photoshop. It's called,
Yeah, Photoshop, but Photoshop monthly is really not
it's
that
nine it's
expensive,
nine
but
ninety nine. Yeah. Yeah.
$10 a month.
Yeah, it is.
Shoot. Uh, I don't know if you can do it in Canva or not. I'm literally one of the most graphically challenged people on the planet. Personally, what I would do is I would just hire somebody on Fiverr to rip through those things. Like let's say there's a word that's spelled differently. I don't know if there is, but let's say there's a word that's spelled differently in the UK as opposed to the United States. Maybe the word theater is in there, and so we spell it T-E-R and y'all spell it T-R-E. I don't know. I'm not saying it's in there. I'm just using that as an example. So I mean, you could easily pull those out. You know, get somebody on Fiverr to edit. Maybe there are 5 of those. I don't know, but you can get somebody on Fiverr to edit those things for, I mean, literally just a few bucks. Another thing you can do is let's say you're in a non-English speaking country. We have people that buy, Thorsten, was that your name? You're in Germany. I apologize. I'm not looking at the chat here, and I believe that was your name, our friend from Germany. Well, Thorsten, you might want to edit this so that it's all in German, right? Easy to do. I mean, these are these memes have very short statements on them. You do not need a you do not need a hire translator to translate that. You could just sit there and translate it yourself. Send it to somebody on Fiverr, or if you're even moderately capable of using Photoshop, you can edit all this stuff yourself. And that way you will have it in your own language. So in order to do that, you would need this OTO2. Elevator versus lift. Thank you, Teresa. I was struggling to find something besides theater or center. I think center is also an ERRE thing.
Yep, yep. See,
Mark's got
Mark,
a great question. That's a great
who
question.
who are you looking at?
The main platforms that you would look at for a personal injury attorney: LinkedIn, Google My Business, Facebook. What else?
Well, I think for personal injury attorneys, Facebook is, I know I'm not crazy about them right now anyway, but you got to be on Facebook. LinkedIn is huge with white collar niches.
Yeah.
And of course, GMB, that's a given. And somebody asked way up there, are you going to give LinkedIn training? Yes, yes, yes. Lee is the LinkedIn ninja. And yes, he's going to give, don't you give some LinkedIn training in the course?
Well, no. Before you even talk to me about helping you with this, being part of this, I had just created a brand new LinkedIn course.
Okay.
And so I thought, what the heck, I'll just include that. So that course is in there.
Oh my gosh, I need that. I'm like LinkedIn's like my last frontier.
LinkedIn is amazing when you know how to use it.
I know it, but I haven't stopped to figure out how to use it. I've been too busy doing GMB and Facebook. So yeah, I need Lee's training.
Let me log into the members area here a second, because James has a question. I want to show him or something else. I have to do that on a different browser though. Hold on, guys. For some reason, my internet has just been slower than all get out. I don't know why. I think it's because my internet provider, AT&T, is putting in a faster service, and look at that. Isn't that ridiculous? Putting in I know the page is there, obviously, putting in a faster service in my neighborhood, which of course translates to it's going to be slower. So,
Oh, I've been having trouble with mine here, and I've got
yeah, I don't know what that
enough
is.
bandwidth to run a third world
Yeah.
country, and it's still giving me problems once in a while. And I'll answer this while you're bringing that up. People are asking me about pricing. Folks, the beautiful thing about it is in America, last time I checked, we're still free. And we can be free to charge anything we want to. My first clients, I charged 99 bucks a month. And they're still paying me 99 bucks a month. And I post twice a day for them. I use videos and graphics. And I didn't go in there and say, oh, now that I've learned how to do this better, I'm going to charge you more. So the cool thing is you can price it any way you want to. If you like 129 for just images, and you like 149 to include some videos, or if you like 199 to do more platforms, it's up to you. And I kind of fly by the seat of my pants on that. I don't have all my prices like written and published anywhere. I kind of take it as it comes. And but that's the beauty of this. You can do what you want to do. Just don't price things that end in 7. That's a marketer's thing. I've never understood it. Our things are 27, 47, 37, 67. The general world doesn't get the 7 thing. Just go ahead and make it, 139.99 or 95. They understand that.
Yeah. So guys, when you log into your members area, and so when you buy my membership software, it sends you a login. Now, that can end up in spam. Furthermore, not only that, but your email client can, for some crazy reason, like if it's, I don't know, Gmail is generally pretty pretty reliable. But especially if you have some of like the older ones, there's still some people on AOL. It just blows my mind. But your internet, the place where you look at your email, they can decide not to even present you with the email at all and not to put it in spam. So if you don't get the login, that's fine. Let me know in support. Okay, so the support link is at the bottom of all sales letters. Now, when you log in, okay, you're going to see that. You'll see everything that you've ever bought from me here. And those of you who are usual clients, thank you, number one. And you already understand how this works. It's a very simple members area. You'll see personal injury profits. Click this green button. When you click this green button, you will see 3 links. All right. Personal injury profits. Let's open that up. LinkedIn Comprehensive Sales System. Open that up. And Teresa, I just read that. And bonuses. Open that up. Okay. So oddly enough, these opened up backwards. So James and everybody else, all the stuff is here. So James, all of that extra stuff, okay. 60 images and comment sheets, the engagement images, these are images for you guys to use on your own Facebook pages, okay. They're not for personal, they're not about personal injury or lawyering type stuff. They're about marketing type stuff. So you would use this on your own page. And
Well,
then everything else,
actually, Lee, hold on.
Yep.
You can use engagement engine for your lawyers. These are not marketing
Okay, cool.
images. Those are.
That's right. This is just like generic cool stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's things that ask questions. So it may say, do you like, when you go out to eat, do you like steak or chicken? Do you like red wine or white wine? Who's your favorite? You like Superman or Batman? I mean, or what did you want to be when you grew up? Not that we're all grown up, but I mean, these are just things that ask questions. I post this stuff on all my niches. I weave them into, I might only put them on there 2-3 times a week, but my roofers get these. And people will be compelled to give you an answer because they love to give their opinions, which makes your rankings go up because they're engaged. Yeah, that's what that is.
And mixes it up. It's not all lawyer, 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 lawyer. It's lawyer, a little bit of fun, lawyer, a little bit of fun, lawyer, a little bit of fun. I think that's really good.
Yeah.
Alwida, if you will send me a, Alwida, you already sent me a ticket about something, but hang on. In case you didn't get the answer to the ticket, which, we always answer your tickets. Look, unless I'm asleep, I'm answering your ticket within an hour or two. Okay. But, excuse me, I mispronounced your name. Awilda. I apologize. I'm pretty sure I was dyslexic before they figured out what that was. Awilda. I apologize for mispronouncing your name. But anyway, in case you didn't get my answer back, you can also feel free to send me an email at this backup email address. Okay, that's a backup ticket email address. Any of y'all are more than welcome to send me an email there also. So yeah, just send me that and I'll make sure you get your stuff. I mean, we will absolutely make sure you get your stuff. There's absolutely no question about that. But James, you wonder where the rest of the stuff was. It's right here. These are downloads. These are zip files. So you're going to need a zip utility to unzip them. Okay. I use 7-zip. You better, Waldo. I use 7-zip. There's a zillion zip utilities that are free. Just Google that in case you don't have one. Most new, well, probably all new computers come with them. They didn't used to. But you just click this, it's going to automatically download to your computer. Click that, it's going to automatically download to your computer. And all the other stuff that was included in this, the emails, the tracking sheet, the report, the 12 longer articles, all that stuff. And I actually added another thing in there with the tracking sheet to help you understand how that works. That's
Hey
all
Lee, is that my
here.
snail mail training? Is that my snail mail training?
It is. The snail mail training is right
Yes,
here. Okay.
that
And
is an awesome training video that I did, and I still use that every week.
yeah,
That alone is worth,
there you
that's
go.
priceless right there. Yeah.
Now, some of the training, instead of, you can tell Jeanne and I really, really are having a blast just talking with you guys. You know, that's for us personally, it's a little better to just actually talk to you, quote unquote, in person through GoToWebinar than it is to just sit there and just make another mind-numbing how-to video, right? So some of the training, the video training about how to do this stuff, we decided to leave that for Monday's webinar. That's Monday the 5th. This coming Monday at 3 o'clock. We're having a webinar all about the balance of the training that you get with this. We decided to do it on a webinar. For one thing, I mean, you can, and we're sitting here answering questions, right? And so we're sitting here answering questions. So that allows us, it's more fun for us, frankly, but it's also a lot more meaningful for you because you can actually ask us question and we can actually answer that. So the balance, so James, if that's what you're missing, the balance of that is there. Al, it's in here. The direct mail letter is in here. It's right here. Okay. Yeah, you bet, buddy. Look, I mean, honestly, I was just total transparency running behind a little bit. And I was about a day late in getting all this stuff here, James. That, you know, easily could have caused a massive amount of confusion. I apologize. It happens sometimes. But yeah, and there are a lot of moving parts to it. There's a ton of stuff that you get with this. So, you know, don't worry about it. You know, you're fine. Our goal, it might not have been, Al. It might not have been. I mean, we can look and see. Uh, That's probably going to destroy the internet now that I click that. Here, we'll get rid of it.
Somebody just wrote to me in Spanish telling me how warm it was in Mexico. But
Oh man, you know what? I've been really
yeah, he didn't
uh,
trick me because I speak Spanish.
there you go. I've been really looking into Mexico. It's a place to semi-retire to. I don't
My
retire.
son
My
used to live
brain
in
my brain works too fast to
my
retire,
son
but
used
you
to
know,
live in Mexico City,
you told
and
me that.
yeah, and it Mexico is a fabulous country. I don't like what's going on down there at the border right now, but
That's a different
when you
deal.
get down in there, oh my goodness,
Oh, what nice
I got some
people too.
stories.
You know, what nice people.
Ooh,
So
oh my
Al,
goodness.
Al, I want you to, I mean, if you looked at some point in the past and all of this wasn't there, that's my fault. I apologize. But this is all that you get when on that one download. So when you click here, then all this stuff shows up. That's the 5 email sequence, the direct mail letter. Al, I think that's the letter you're looking for. How to use a tracking spreadsheet, the tracking spreadsheet, personal injury profit articles, and the report. Okay. Now, honestly, the report is basically a reuse of the articles. There's a reason, and I've always done that in my marketing. There's a reason that I do that. It's not out of laziness. It's because I use the articles. These articles are for you to use marketing yourself to clients. Okay. I really repetition helps massively with sales. So when I have longer articles that I post, I love to post long articles. Hint, hint, this is a golden nugget I'm dropping here. I love to post longer articles on LinkedIn. You can get an amazing amount from that. And I go over that in the course, by the way. So publish that there. Use the report as something to give away. You can put it behind I mean, you can give it away for free. You can make people give you your email to give it away, whatever. But the report is supposed to sound very, very much like the articles, and you really, really want that. Okay, so that's what that is, Al. Cool. All right, bud. Absolutely, James. Sounds like a plan. So that's that. Now, The new LinkedIn training. Okay, here it is. Now, is this everything about LinkedIn? No, but it's everything that works amazingly well for me. So how LinkedIn works. If you don't understand how LinkedIn works, you're, excuse the French again, screwed. It doesn't work like other platforms. It has an entirely different deal going on.
Did
Your
you send
LinkedIn
me access to
profile.
this? Did you send me
Yeah, I did.
access to this yet?
I
Okay,
did.
because I
I
need
did.
this training because, like I said, I'm a LinkedIn
Um,
idiot.
Building direct
My,
contacts, how
yeah.
active selling works. Active selling means actually logging onto LinkedIn. Teresa, I don't know if you're still on the webinar or not, but this is a great way to do prospecting, especially for professional type businesses like attorneys. Active selling means logging in, finding, finding groups of people to message, to create relationships with. That is literally one of the best ways to sell ever. And guys, if you will do what I tell you here consistently, all right, like an hour a day, literally an hour a day, Monday through Friday, if you will do this consistently, you can build a phenomenal business just doing this, just selling this one thing that you bought from Jeanne here. And then a lot of, because I mean, these are PowerPoints here because there's stuff to know, right? I mean, they're just ideas that you have to understand, but I don't like just PowerPoints. I like you to actually watch stuff. Overview of the comprehensive sales system. We look at my profile, I have written a lot of profiles for a lot of people back in the day. But my profile, we're going to look at that. We're going to talk all about why it works. Your profile is like your sales letter for you on LinkedIn. Don't screw up your profile. Do exactly what I say. Okay. And building connections. LinkedIn depends on how many people you're connected to. Fortunately, if you will just follow what I tell you to, you can build connections very rapidly. My son, like 3 years ago, built his LinkedIn connections up to a couple of thousand people, direct connections. Now we're talking about a teenager, all right, a teenager, just by doing exactly what I told him to, and it really didn't take that long. How to download your
I've got
contacts?
I've got 3,000. I've got 3,000. I've done nothing.
Yeah, there you go. And blogging.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the blogging part is where you will use those longer articles. That is an amazing. It's a, take the LinkedIn stuff seriously, guys. I mean, I know different people are saying, well, how do you get in touch with people? Blah 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 blah. But we got a bunch of ways for you to do that. Pick one, do it consistently. If you're sitting there scratching your head and wondering which one to pick LinkedIn. And then we had the bonuses, and there's some more bonuses that came with us. They're just here on a download. All right. Jeanne's agency memes bonus, that was the engagement engine stuff, and Lee's bonus package. Those are there.
Have you ever bought a franchise, Lee?
No.
Well, I did back in 1990 something. Leon and I plunked
Uh,
down $80,000 for a franchise, and guess what?
what?
Make more money off of social posting than we ever made out of that franchise.
You know, guys, I mean,
Look at the price on this. Come on, guys. This is
so
insane.
what have we been on here about an hour and 10 minutes?
Yep.
Gordon wants to know how, like
I
after
I
12
gotta go
months, how
get
would
ready
you
for.
get? Uh-huh.
I gotta get ready for karaoke in a little while because it's my
Well,
night
that's
out.
important stuff. Actually, no, I'm serious, Jeanne. This is extremely important. Part of the whole point of this whole thing is that Jeanne has a life. I have a life too, but this is Jeanne still. Jeanne has a life. I mean, look at this.
Yeah,
Jeanne
show
is
them some of my
cooler. Jeanne is cooler than you know what, literally. Uh,
life.
but watch this. I mean, we'll get down to Jeanne's life in a minute. But this is important. I wasn't bragging about Jeanne or anything. There's Jeanne in her home office. Jeanne in Nova. Every time I turn around, you're going somewhere. You actually sent me a thing from Nova Scotia.
Did
Jeanne
I?
on someone else's
I
motorcycle,
know.
but Jeanne does have her, or used to
I have
have.
to tell you, that is Sid Michael's motorcycle in Sid Michael's
Yeah,
garage. That is not my toy. I have a BMW, or did. I sold it. But
there you go.
oh,
Jeanne out west.
that's in Sedona. That's out.
Oh
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
that was a great trip.
Je-
That's in our
Jeanne out
driveway.
west, getting all the vibes of Sedona,
Yeah.
and Jeanne and her husband getting ready. That's Jeanne's camper, the truck that pulls the camper. I mean, this lady leads an amazing life, and you know,
Well, I got a great
doesn't.
husband too. That helps, and great kids. Yeah,
Well, that's
they
actually
make my
more
life
important.
easy.
That's actually more important. But uh, yeah, Sam, I don't know if you've been on since the beginning of the webinar. That's what the webinar was about, was giving you some details about this. I mean, if you have any specific question, let us know. Deb, yeah, you can get the OTOs later. I mean, in all fairness, the price might be a little bit more. All right. And I'm not trying to give you any kind of sales pitch here. I'm just trying to be honest with you. The price might be a little bit more, but not prohibitively more. All right. Rick, they're just two. Jeanne and I don't really like OTOs to begin with, but we really don't like many OTOs. There's this OTO where you get the videos, okay? You get 90 short videos in MP4 format and 90 Instagram story videos. All right, so you get the videos in OTO 1, and I'll just go ahead and show you the price here. Rick, also look in the chat. I put the links to to both the OTOs for you, okay? Both the OTOs. In other words, you can look at it before you even buy, right? John, absolutely, there's a replay. I'll be mailing that out to you either later on today or first thing tomorrow. And Rick, the OTO2 is 120 curated articles as explained, PSD files for all the 180 images, and yeah, 120 more images and comments, a ton of stuff, a ton of stuff. Okay, so
Lee, here's a question. I want to make sure I answer this right.
yeah,
It's from John at 326 there. And it says, how do you set your pricing for regular posts, animated, curated articles,
a great
GMB
question.
posting? How do you go from the initial sale to upselling the other elements? I'll give you my answer, then you see what you say. I
Yeah.
don't try to upsell my folks. I just figure out what would be the most helpful to them, and then I sell them whatever they want. If I think that it's like, if it's a landscaper, he's going to benefit most from GMB and Facebook. He's not going to give probably two hoots and a holler about LinkedIn as much as an attorney would or a chiropractor would. So I kind of see what they want. And I usually, now that I have all the videos, see, I didn't have videos when I first started, but now that I do, I just kind of add them in, and I set my price. I want to be done with it. I don't want to spend time going back and selling stuff. I want to figure out what's going to help the people,
Yeah.
set it up on my posting software, and let it go. And so if I think that this is a $199 a month client, I say it's 199 bucks. If I think I can get by with 149, that's what I set it at. And I leave it alone. I don't try to upsell people.
Well,
So,
you are,
and
yeah, yeah,
if you'll offer all of it, go for it. But I would not be going back and trying to upsell people. That's a waste of time. Just set it and forget it.
well, Jeanne, really the deal here, really the crux of your business is, personal injury attorneys on payday, right? On payday, they make tens of thousands of dollars minimum, right? So, and
They
they,
do.
guys, this is amazing. I mean, you can get on Google and look this up. One click, one click on a keyword on a Google ad in a smaller city in the United States, like San Antonio, Texas. We're not talking about Manhattan. We're not talking about Los Angeles. We're talking about little bitty San Antonio. I think it's about 1 million people or so, something like that. I don't know. But one click for personal, just one click, not they're going to sign up for anything, not even call, not anything, just one click on the freaking ad. is going to cost a minimum of $30 to $100 for one freaking click. So you're going to your attorney client and you're going to do so much more for them for what, $150 a month?
Or
I mean, for a
199.
lot of these guys, 199 for a lot of these guys. Let's say it's $199 a month for a lot of these guys. I mean, if you're in a larger city, Seattle, if you're in St. Louis, God
Listen,
knows how much it would
if
cost
you
in
can
the
get
greater New York area.
$299, you can get more money, get it. It's your business.
Check this out. Check this, Al. Thank you so much, buddy. Check this out. Al says in New York, it's $442 for one freaking click.
Oh my
And you're
gosh.
talking to your client. You're gonna do all. You're gonna take over their social media for them. You're gonna do all of that stuff. Now, obviously, you're doing it in Jeanne's way, so you just get them set up and forget about them. They just pay you. But you're taking that whole burden off of them for just $200 a month. I mean, understand these guys
Yeah.
are used to dropping $10,000 a week. I mean, the ones that are successful, they're used to dropping $10,000 a freaking week for, a firm like a personal injury firm, $10,000 a week for advertising. And you're saying,
You're
I can
making
take
me
care of
think
all this for $200 a month?
you're making me think I should raise my prices here.
You
But
know
then
what
again,
I'm
I will
saying?
set and
But
forget. I don't want
well,
people calling me.
but
I don't want
that's
people
part of,
calling me.
yes, that's the beauty of your system is
Yeah.
from your client's point of view, this thing falls under the radar. From their point of view, it's really not even worth thinking about. They're paying thousands of dollars a month for advertising, and here's this little charge for 150, 200 bucks. Why even think about it? It's doing what it's supposed to. Facebook looks great. We could never manage to do that before. LinkedIn looks great. We didn't even know we could post there. Why even think about it? That's her secret. That's her secret. From the client's point of view, it flies under the
Yeah.
radar. It
It does.
basically works like all subscription. Who here besides me has subscriptions for $6, $5, $7? I think, like my wife and I like to look at like these British murder mystery series things. And there's one I think I subscribe to through Amazon for $6 a month. And every time I look at the charge, I think, I wonder for you, oh hell, why even think about it at $6? See, her clients go through the same thing if they think about it. And see, this is what's so beautiful because nobody ever thinks about it hard enough to say, maybe I shouldn't do that. But she's delivering a wonderful service for these people. There's nothing unethical going on here. It's just that it flies under the radar. So, Bill, you can post LinkedIn once a day. You can post all these places once a day.
Yep, you
Yeah,
can.
JL, look it up. Get on Facebook and no, seriously, get on Facebook. Type in the name of the firm or the name of the attorney, and you'll find them. Rick, amen to this. Rick says it costs them more to pay an hourly person to do this for them. Furthermore, I know a lot of these places are like they get a secretary, legal type secretary. They get somebody working in the office. They say, okay, part of your job is to do this Facebook stuff. Yay, rah, rah. Let's do this, once a day. And Jeanne, they crap out after 2 weeks, usually?
Oh yeah, yeah. When I did my research, which we will go into in our post-launch webinar here together, I'm going to do a live walkthrough for you and show you
Ooh.
how to find the perfect clients. And I'm not even going to practice it ahead of time. I'm going to do it right there, and you can tell me what city to look for, and I'll do it, and I'll show you who I would come up with right there on the spot and why.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, that's really going to help these guys a ton. I think that's going to help these guys a ton is to
Yeah,
over the
we don't have
shoulder.
time to do it now because I've got about 10 minutes and I got to
Yeah,
go.
well, I tell you what, guys, we've been on here an hour and 20 minutes. I'm not trying to cut you off. We still got a ton of questions. In the chat, okay, you've got my support link. You've also got my backup support email. If you will scroll through the chat, you will see that it's EZPSS SUPT@gmail.com. Got any follow-up questions? Absolutely. Email me there. EZ, otherwise known as Z in the UK, EZPSSUPT@gmail.com. Send me your questions. We will get them answered. Okay. We don't want you just wandering around wondering what you should do. We want to give you the information that you need to make an intelligent decision for yourself. Hey, Bill, how's it going, buddy? Bill, the paid, the webinar that you got by buying this is Monday the 5th at 3 o'clock, 3 Eastern. Jeanne, thank you so much. And I know you're dying to get ready to go to karaoke. I
Yeah,
really
it's a
appreciate your
birthday
time with these guys.
friend. So yeah, I might
There you
even
go.
post a video of me and Leon doing our thing on my Facebook page. So you never know.
Cool. I love it. Thank you, Al and everybody else. Send us your questions. Again,
Oh, Mark, I'll have to tell you about my song list later, buddy. It's again by the seat of my pants. It's whatever I decide when I walk up there, and they have all my stuff saved and whatever the vibe in the room is. I mean, if it's kind of a slow dance kind of a night, then I'll do something, and if it's a rowdy crowd, then I'll get up and do Grundy County Auction or something. So I never know. Yes, William, I have the posting service back up and rolling, and it is working flawlessly. Send an email to me at socialhomeservices@gmail.com. Lee, if you want to put that link in there, and
yeah.
I'll get you set up.
Also, Jeanne, on our webinar, why don't we talk about that?
Yep, we will.
Social home services at
gmail.com. And tell me if you are coming to me from Lee's webinar or anything to do with Lee, because I'm going to reward Lee for that. So let me know.
CS, we talked all about the gatekeepers about in the first 15 minutes of the webinar. So if you didn't see that part, or if you got on late, roll back and we will talk all, just see what we said. Guys, I should have the replay up maybe tonight, definitely by tomorrow morning. It will be up on a page where you can see it, look at it to your heart's content. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. Jeanne, I really appreciate your time. Guys, thank you so much for all your questions. We, neither one of us have this business without you. And we're here to help you. We're here to serve you. So let us know how we can help you. Send us your questions, but especially, and this is just for me, take this stuff of Jeanne's very seriously. I have been helping people learn how to do these kinds of things, local business marketing, social media marketing, and all this stuff for years now. This is literally the best deal I have ever seen. It's the best thing. Take her up on that. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. And we will talk to you very, very soon.
Yep. Enjoyed it, guys. I'll see you on the inside somewhere.